In a quiet village by the mountains, people often visited an old monk for guidance. He was known for his wisdom, but also for teaching in ways no book could explain. One day, a young man came to the monk. He was restless, impatient, and frustrated with life. He said, "Master, I want happiness, but I keep losing control. How can I learn patience?" The monk simply looked at him, smiled gently, and said nothing. The young man waited, expecting words of wisdom, but the monk stood in silence. After a moment, the monk picked up a small sapling, walked toward the garden, and began digging in the soil. The young man was puzzled. He thought, "I came for an answer, not farming lessons. Why isn't he speaking?" Yet, curiosity kept him from leaving. He stood and watched quietly. The monk lowered the sapling into the hole, covered it with soil, and gently pressed it down. Then, with calm hands, he poured water at its roots. Still, no words came from the monk. The young man grew restless again and asked, "Master, I need your wisdom. Why are you wasting time planting this tree?" The monk finally looked up and said softly, "If you want shade tomorrow, can you have it instantly? If you want fruits by next week, is it possible?" The young man frowned and replied, "Of course not. A tree takes years to grow, years to bear fruit, and even longer to give shade." The monk nodded. Just as this tree cannot be rushed, so too is your own growth. Patience is not about waiting. It is about allowing life to unfold at its natural pace. He touched the soil and continued, "Every day, I will water this tree. For months, nothing may appear. Yet beneath the soil, roots will be growing strong." In the same way, the monk explained, when you practice patience, you may not see changes immediately, but within, your character is taking root. The young man listened deeply now, realizing that the silence of planting carried a louder message than any lecture could give. Watching the frail little sapling, he thought about his own life. He understood that rushing would only break him, just as pulling a seed from the ground would kill its chance to grow. The monk finally smiled again and said, "Remember, the greatest trees you admire today once stood as fragile as this one. With time, care, and patience, they became strong." From that day, the young man began to practice patience, not by forcing it, but by nurturing it daily, just as the monk tended to his tree. And slowly, he discovered that patience was not waiting, it was growing.